Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the podcast Surviving the Apocalypse. I am Chris, the High Guy Jacobs.
And this is that Panda guy.
And today...
And I guess we're... Oh,
yeah, no, go ahead.
We're going to hop into it with whatever High Guy wants to do today.
Today we are going to chit-chat a lot. It's been a while since we've had this podcast, so first and foremost, welcome back. To everybody else who's tuning in, if you haven't already, smash the like button, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, fill the notification bell, all the free things you can for both of us to help support the channels. Get those done. First and foremost, I want to talk to you a little bit about what we've had over the last, because it's been a couple of months since we've had a sit down, hey? So let's talk real quick. Yeah, no, that's fine. You're chewing. That's good. So I want to talk real quick because the last time we really kind of got a good chance was when... technically now since you got back from Worlds. So let's chit-chat a little bit about Worlds because it was quite controversial from our end too. I assume you experienced it firsthand?
Yeah, I mean, I know why everybody was like going crazy.
So what was it like being there live? Seeing it there like in action? How was it for you?
It wasn't that bad. I mean, besides, obviously the bugs, but I mean, realistically, I'll say this, right? The staff was kind of better at handling everybody. And I'd say I feel kind of bad for them because when you realistically think about everything, they had like 3 tournaments back to back to back. Both other tournaments run smoothly. Last year, the Lord Duel one also ran smoothly. And then they have like a bug issue on Doomsday both years in a row, right? Like everything else runs fine. And it hits Doomsday, and then the community just gives them like shit, right? And they also had to end the tournament early because I believe they didn't want to keep like everybody in the venue waiting, since obviously people have to travel and all that. So they ended up giving them gold and stuff to, I guess, kind of compensate them and say sorry. But I don't know. I mean, it could have been worse. I think the people actually were better at managing like the players and stuff, even just like the accommodations, right? Like. If you're watching the stream, obviously it's gonna look bad because I mean, just who's gonna be happy about like the game bugging out and all that? But it is what it is, kind of thing, I guess.
Well, I think the biggest thing that I probably had as a viewer, it wasn't just the bug. Like, I mean, let's
the commentators. Is that it?
Well, regardless of even that, I mean, we can talk all about that and rip into that too. But what I found to probably the most frustrating was that there was tons of stuff going on at the event, like at the venue, to keep the viewers happy, but there was nothing happening on YouTube. All we got was the same re-rolled 6 videos, right? Whenever there was downtime, it's like we got these re-rolled 6 videos of gameplay footage or whatever it was. And it's not even gameplay footage, it's like their promo stuff. And I'm talking the promo video for Marco. Like, why the heck do I need to see Marco's promo video again? Do you know what I mean? So like we had these promo videos that were like rotating in succession whenever something was down. And so when the bug happened, you guys got to see all the draws. You guys got to see all the,
sure,
all that shit. We didn't get to see any of it. We just got the same re-rolled video screens, and it wasn't like not something that you want to bail on or not something you want to sit and watch. So it was good that you were there because during your live stream, we all marched over there and started watching the live stream to see what the heck was happening.
Yeah, we were just chilling, living our best life over there.
Yeah, it looked fun. I was a little disappointed though, and I did notice throughout it that I was a little disappointed with how many white people there were not there, or at least that didn't show themselves.
South Korea, to be fair.
Sure, I get that. I totally get that. But there was like 1 or 2, and you'd be like cheering for them. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we got one guy, one of them, Except for the players, but it was funny. So what did you...
Yeah, one of them sat right next to me.
Oh, yeah? You guess you got one of them. So what did you think about the commentary? Did you go back and watch it after? Have you seen the replay?
I couldn't be bothered. I was told by everybody it was terrible, which, I mean, it's just like, damn, bro. Because you would have expected it to be really... much better, at least, considering that they just kind of fleshed out the YouTubers or whatever. And considering they even have people like Z, who are willing to come out and commentate and all this kind of stuff, it just didn't make much sense to me. I mean, I don't know, maybe
I don't
on cost or something.
I don't know what their mentality was to pick the 2 that they did. Do these 2, like, do you know who these 2 were? Are they players of the game?
They're just employees, from what I understand.
Well, see,
Yeah, I mean, like, cause the Peter guy, right? Like, that was an employee last year,
yeah,
and
Peter and
he was the one who
Hank.
commentated with me.
Wasn't the other guy's
So
name Hank or something? Didn't they do them
I
both?
think I think so.
I think
You
they
know,
did them both dirty.
what you were talking about though, like the how you guys would have to wait and just watch the same pre-roll ads. You know, it would be nice if the actual commentators, and I mean, you need actual normal people to commentate, not like employees because of their limited game knowledge. But
Right.
if they just like instead of having a bunch of ads playing, or maybe just like only ads playing, they could maybe throw in these guys and they could give down a breakdown of how the game went and be like, oh, this is what I think could have done better, or this is how I
Yeah.
think they could have performed better, or something that maybe they could have done to try to change the tide of the battle. So then you're still kind of engaging with, the audience and not just having them there for hours, kind of
Yeah.
sitting there, just staring at their screen, waiting for
Anything
the
like
next
that.
game.
And even then, I mean, during the event itself, I think my biggest gripe was that they were like never on the right places that you wanted to see the action at.
That's what my issue was last year.
Yeah.
I probably could have taken control of the like the camera
Yeah.
that everyone's watching. And this is what I think I've talked about it, but I wish I had said for me to take over, but I didn't think he'd like only focus on like a main fight or not scroll around a lot more. But he would only focus on like certain fights, whereas like there were small skirmishes around the map that you probably would have wanted to check out and say, "Oh my gosh, this is like a small little, outpost, like a random player going around swarming like small little devices or whatever the case." And this is like something that could change the tide of the battle instead of just focusing on one big murder hole the whole time. It's just like
Well, it's I mean it's that, and like the thing that I noticed a lot is that they would focus a lot on the smaller fights in between the big fights. So like they would see the big fight and then like a small fight would break off and they would like follow it, and you're like, but I want to go back. Like I want to see the big what we're actually doing. I don't care about these one-on-one, field squabbles. I want to see the big shit. Like that's the important stuff. But it seemed
things that aren't like changing the tide of the battle, just random.
Yeah, and it just seemed weird to me, and like everybody that we had watching, because we hosted a watch party for it, and the amount of frustration that they had simply because like where they were focused was not where the action was just so frustrating.
The venue host guy was so much better. I'm gonna say that, dude. He had a lot more energy, and he was better at like at least from what I saw. Right,
Yeah.
I was completely satisfied with all the fights he was showing. So maybe he actually was a lot more native to the game or something. I don't know. But I mean the guy who was in the venue did much better than I guess the YouTube host.
Yeah, and they said a bunch, like there was a bunch of things that got said that like really kind of caught me off guard. Like you wouldn't put Boyd with Riven was one of the things that he said. Like you wouldn't put Boyd with Riven. And I'm like, wait,
why not?
Time out, wait a second. What are you talking about? You don't put that's one of his best pairs. If you don't have Stella or Ethan, like, what are we talking about? So it was some of these simple things where it's like he would say something like that, and you'd sit back and go, "How much do you actually play this game? Do you actually know this game?" That's why we were curious. Are they workers? Are they just hired people who, here's an hour, learn the script? Which to me is kind of isn't outside of IGG if it saves them more money. And again, granted, I've got a different opinion. I'm not nearly as, integrated with them, right? Like I don't talk to the admins. The closest admin I know about is admin Cynthia on Discord, and that's just like a HR person from what I hear, right? So it's not like I'm integrated there, but it's one of those things where I look at it and I go, they really kind of dropped the ball on and again, you pair that with the videos and stuff the action that we didn't see. It didn't make for a good viewer experience on YouTube. That's for sure. And then, I'm not sure if you heard about this. And then the rewards that they gave after the viewership lucky rewards. Did you hear about these?
I think I know like a slight bit, but not nearly enough.
So I was lucky enough to win $100 gift pack. Like one of the $100 like $100 US pack. And I was like, okay, cool. This will be awesome. Do you know what it was? 100 high carbon steel and 1,000 of the vehicle metal. That's it. That's it. And I went, but wait a second, for $5, you can get more than that on one of these other packs. So how is this value worth $5? Or how is this value worth $100? It's because one of the premium packs values the high carbon steel at $1 a piece. So they said we based it off of that value.
But you would just base it off of the max pack. that's something that would like make sense.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't make any sense. It didn't make any sense. And I was back and forth with them for days over this, and they said, well, oh well. But they did end up giving out more rewards because people had complained enough about how bad the rewards were. So instead of doubling up the rewards or increasing the awards for the people that won them, they just gave out more of the same rewards to more people.
That's a bit stupid.
They're just like, here's another list. Here, just like a whole random people. Here's more nothing. So it was. So you pair that with how Worlds went, right? With the bugs that went on with Worlds, and you can see why the community got a little bit irked over everything.
Yeah. No,
But-
I mean it's fair.
But I guess it's like I said, the difference is going to be the fact that you saw it in person. So how was it meeting all the people again? Like, was it who were the new faces that you didn't meet before?
I mean, it's always a blast, but I did hang out with the H&B team again, to be fair. So
Yeah,
I met a lot of them again, like CNX and such. But I met Z, obviously. And I mean, I got a picture with Edgar. I mean, I met a lot of them, to be honest. Like,
Were there any
Jace.
Yeah. Were there any new
I
faces
had
that
him
you
in,
hadn't met before?
I mean, like Z and all them are kind of new faces, right? Like I hadn't met them before, but Jace from I think he kind of joins me SSI and stuff sometimes. But I had him in my Genesis War round, because it was funny when I had landed, and I went and I was like, "Yo, you guys want to ally?" And then they were like, "Oh yeah, we're at the tournament too, by the way." So I go to breakfast when I wake up, and I just see them there, and I'm like, "Yo!" And then we just talked a little bit of strategy, I think, during some random before mid open. They're like, this is what we're gonna do.
That's so funny. Oh, there
Yeah.
goes Odie. Like a
Yeah, he's
win.
He's
Got the
got his
zoomies.
little stuffed animal right now.
Yeah, he's got his zoomies. It's a good boy.
He's ripping it up before he moves. That was his last time he's gonna be able to use it.
So yeah, I heard you guys are moving. What's is there a reason for the move? Just new place, new face, or?
Just convenient, Just
Oh, nice.
why not?
Yeah, it's like moving jobs. Get a better pay somewhere else, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's still near like my college and stuff, so
Sure.
it's not really that far. It's only like 30 minutes.
Is it a cheaper place?
It's bigger.
Ah, going the other way.
Yeah.
Need more space.
Yeah, more space. Need room for this dog to run around.
Yeah, makes sense. So, and that's going to wrap it up for Worlds. I mean, obviously, we've talked a little bit about the community's reaction to it. I still had a ton of fun watching it because, I mean, most of it, what we've always spoken about is that the benefit to this game is the community, right? What we gain from the community, the friends and stuff that we met. I mean, even going to Worlds and meeting the people that you did. A lot of it, is the random happenstance of meeting some of your friends in a random place. And being able to sit down for breakfast and, do the same type of thing like that, those types of small interactions in the community are really kind of what make it. So even though Worlds may have fallen short, it still was a fun experience because we are still watching it with friends. We are able to make fun of IGG together and, shit on everybody else. And,
True.
and then, like I said, because of your stream that you were doing a live of, we were able to see the rest of it and keep us entertained. So I really got to appreciate the people who are on the ground there being able to provide it for us. So thanks very much for that.
Yeah, I was just chilling and watching, and I was just recording a little bit, and then I was tapping into Discord every now and then, and they're like, Panda streaming. I'm like, oh my gosh, sure, why not, guys? So I just threw up a stream because might as well while we're chilling.
Yeah, take advantage of it because the truth is, like I said, the alternative was just repetitive Marco ads. And don't get me wrong, if they had dropped something new, like this is the typical thing that I had expected, right? I was expecting to see new content, drop me something, a teaser of some kind, right? Something to, to keep us there. And there was nothing. It was just repetitive.
To even talk about, right? Like, because if you're dropping a teaser of like maybe a new collaboration, people will be like, oh,
yeah,
I
something.
wonder what this was gonna be about.
But there was nothing. It was just repetitive stuff. And so because yours went, I bet you probably got a lot of traction on that video when you were streaming though, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I got a good amount of views.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I think 12 or 15 of them were from our group. So it was, a really good thing that you were there to be able to do that for us. Cause otherwise it would have been really boring.
Yeah, my stream bugged out because it didn't even show chat after a few minutes. Like I couldn't even respond to anybody in chat because it didn't show it anymore. Like, I don't know if anybody assumed I was ignoring chat or something, but I couldn't read it. I was like, maybe nobody's chatting. Maybe just nobody's in here.
Oh
And then
no,
I
we
was
were
like, no,
chatting.
it's got to be bugged at some point. I
Yeah,
was
we were
like,
chatting.
this can't be happening.
Yeah, we were chatting. But nobody really cared. I think we were all just knew that you were just kind of in your element, doing your thing, sitting behind the desk with HMB, acting all tough.
Oh my gosh. Someone got a picture of me as I was like walking around trying to while I was trying to help somebody with like a hero. Let me see. Like I was trying to help them with their hero setup when they're set, because everybody sets it up before the competition starts or whatever
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
called.
they got time to set up their marches and stuff, I assume.
Yeah, and some of the marches were tripping me out, so I was like trying to give my own input. I was like, okay,
Right?
let me give you guys
Is
my
it
thoughts.
is it just me, or cuz like there's some things that happen in this game that I see other people do, and I'm sitting there going, am I missing something? Or are they just not playing it properly?
Yeah, I was kind of confused. I can't remember one of the hero lineups. I did get somebody change it, and the other person was like, "Oh, this person," which I think it was because someone had gotten caught in customs, right?
Yeah.
And they weren't able to make it to the tournament, so they got a substitute, which was I believe it was ROK's leader, the guy who usually has that
Just
Buddha
just
profile
hold on
picture.
one
If you know
second.
what
My
I'm
kids
talking
just got
about.
hold on 1 second. I hate to interrupt. Just give
Oh,
me one
you're
second.
good.
All right, that fixed that mess. Okay, continue. Where were we?
Oh, but I was saying that someone got caught up in customs, right?
Yeah.
And ROK's leader, the guy with like the he like has like a Buddha profile picture. It's like
Right.
some dude from it's an anime. I can't remember, but basically he sat in and I guess he gave like one of the players like a recommended like hero. And I forgot what the pairing was, but I was like, you're better off pairing like this and this and this. I was like, why are you running this? But I mean, it wasn't like a bad one, but it was like it wasn't the most optimal. So it just confused me.
Well, I'll give you an
And I'm
example
like,
of a pairing.
you would assume like these guys basically have it, you know what I mean? Considering they're like kind of top players, but then again, I don't know. Like,
Well,
a lot of
see,
guys just follow meta at the same time.
that becomes my question, right? Because, and this is what I've been thinking. If they, are there any players in the game who have access to absolutely everything? Like, does Safe Me have everything?
I'd say he probably does, right? Like if I'm not sure if he has like let's say like an armament set for 5 range marches if he wants to run 5 ride marches if he wants to run 5, and that is also something I was gonna say, right? Like some of these guys are maybe infantry mains, right? Like who have like multiple 7 mil infantry marches, but you're obviously if you're in this scenario, you're going to want to turn into a rider main or a range main because damage build is going to be better in this kind of scenario no matter what, right? And then maybe you
Right.
have like one strong blade march or whatever for garrison, da 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 da.
Right.
So these guys are obviously having to probably change up their lineups quite a bit with something that they're not kind of familiar with. So
Well, that's what I was
it's kind of
thinking.
fair.
Like having access to an account with a maxed out everything, right? Transcended everything, maxed out everything, right? Most of these players, from our perspective, from my perspective, like I only have one hero that's partially transcended. So I really don't have a lot of flexibility to mess with picks and stuff like that, right? So I'm looking at it going, is it because they have maxed accounts that they're just kind of playing with it to see what stuff works? Or is there something actually meta about running Spectra Felix, for example? Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I think it's more lack of just knowing it, to be honest. I just think these guys just don't know how to run like some of these builds, and then we overcomplicate it. Like, huh?
they're
I
used to
must be
playing.
missing something. Like,
Yeah.
nah, he's not Z.
Well, I think this kind of breaches on the topic we had before. We were talking about who was it? Like Toto, for example, the new buyer of Toto's alliance or Toto's account got burned. Safe Me got burned a couple of times. Like some of these big accounts are getting burned. And like I told you about Chad's guy, like not being able to play it, the way that account should be played. So like part of me goes, I wonder if they're just so in tune with their own stuff. But it's just like whether they're just like really used to playing their accounts their way, like playing their accounts. And so getting access to something with everything and you're like, ooh, shiny. You know what I mean? Like, is that what we're running into there?
Yeah, they're just trying to be different. I mean, I can't blame them, right? Like, it's not like these guys who were running like terrible like hero combos. I mean, it could have been worse. You could have been seeing a 7 million might stand on the field,
100%. 100%. I totally appreciate that. But like, here's another question. How do they do armaments and stuff like that if everything's awakened? Like, do they have to roll their own armament sets?
I believe you could like choose. I mean, I think there were like I forget exactly how the rules were, but I think you could have like, for example, it was either 3 or 4, like for example, maxed rider sets and stuff. And maybe you could just choose like what hones you had or something. I'm
Yep.
not 100 on that. Maybe you do roll for it, but yeah.
That'd be interesting. I just thought about that now because I'm like, there's so much customization on this. Like, it's one thing to have a transcended hero, but it's another thing to have a 7.5 million hero set with, you know, are they special armament sets? Like, did they get the collab armament sets, or was it just superbs? Do you know what I mean? Like, where's the line? I want to know now. That's kind of it's intriguing.
Yeah, that is true. See his dog back here freaking sucking on my blankets, man. This is my
Yeah, it hasn't
this is my
stopped for like
reality.
10 minutes, man. It's hilarious. That blanket
Yeah,
is
he
gonna be
locks
clean as
in,
shit.
bro. When he gets in on that, and then it's wet.
Yeah.
He knows not to do it at the top of my bed though. I hate having to sleep with a wet blanket touching my freaking chest.
I hate when that happens. It's like, I'll tell you this other time, I got up early for Genesis War. So I woke up early because there was no, not Genesis, for Archipelago, because there was a fight happening early morning. So they woke me up on Discord at like 4 in the morning, 4:30. So I got up, go upstairs, sit down on my computer, start playing. An hour later, fight's over. I'm tired. So I go back down. I'm like, well, it's 5:30 in the morning. I'll go lay back down again. My dog had laid there and licked a spot wet right by my fucking pillow. Stupid
Dude,
jackass.
I hate when he does that. Like that's
Ugh.
like my dog when he just like decides to randomly lick his freaking butt while laying at the top of my bed. Like, bro, you think I'm trying to lay down and feel this wet spot? Like I know what it is. I know it's not freaking what I want it to be. I don't know. Water.
What I'm hoping it is, you know, just literally, I'd rather it be a leak from the roof than a leak from your ass. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's one way to put it.
Yeah, no shit. Okay, let's move on. We've chit-chatted about Worlds. We've ripped on IGG enough. Now I want to talk a little bit more about the biggest new update I think that's come to the game here recently. The refinery and auction house. This is something that a lot of people not only are still confused about, but just kind of, I guess the community experience, it depends on where and who you ask, but it's really interesting to kind of see. So let's just clear the air. What's your opinion on the refinery and the auction house? How do you think it works?
What do you mean? How do I think it works? Do I like it? Or
Yeah.
like
What's your opinion on it?
I mean, it's okay, right? Like, it's nice to some extent because it's been helpful at me, like just even getting gold for like my fillers because I'm just gonna spin that towards auto gathers on them. But realistically, I kind of think it's just like it's more of a a whale's world. But then again, like it's kind of weird when you really think about how cheap it is to get these stats compared to other stuff, right?
Yep.
Like when you really think about it, like they have all this stuff that's super expensive, and then they're like, "Oh, well, we're gonna throw you this new thing." And after a week, since everybody is gonna have a deflated price in like the auction, now you can get like 7% stats for $2, right? Like just an example, but
well, if only
like,
if only smelting was better.
Very cheap stats.
Yeah, if only smelting was better though. I hate the 0.1 to 2% increase on a 4% difference.
I mean, yeah, I don't have too many complaints though, so
yeah. Well,
whatever, I guess.
I like it for the fact that, especially in the early days, and if you did end up getting really lucky, like I ended up pulling what was it, like a 5% infantry damage, and I sold it for like 15,000. So it's like I've been able to turn a decent penny to do nothing, which has, you know, been beneficial for me to put it back into my account. But I think the problem that pisses me off the most is that they had the problem that you could sell equipment from an entrusted account. I don't know if they still have it or whether they fixed that or not, but if you were entrusted, you could still sell someone's equipment.
Yeah, it's insane.
Which to me is insane. And then you can't buy equipment with unlinked gold. So the stuff that I sell, I now can't turn around and put it back into the auction house. It has to be linked. It has to be unlinked gold. I have to buy gold from the store first.
Yeah, it's probably. I mean, I get why they did that. I don't like it, but I get why, right? Because like, if you think about it, what if you just took all the gold out of your alliance pool, and you're like, here, whale, spend all this gold and get some max equipment, right? And they're like, well, you're not spending that on our gold mall. You're just taking already spent money and then putting it back into the market. Which, I mean, you're gonna do that either way, but it's
Sure.
like they rather push you into, I guess, actually making sure you're spending money, you know.
But let's be honest with something. The whales are going to spend their money anyways. That's just not going to change.
Regardless, yeah.
Right? They're going to spend it anyways. So the only people that this really hurts are the non-spenders. Like the spenders will drop $5, $10 to get their stats up, no problem. The non-spenders who can grind like they told us to grind, they were even like, yeah, go hustle, get your grind on. And we're like, oh, sweet, this will be great. But no, wait a second. Almost.
I found Auction House kind of funny though, because like to me, it looks like they're just turning you into worker ants. They're like, get to work, our little minions.
Yeah, and if you're not careful, I mean, the fact that you can lose a lot of your, your forged metal can get raided. What, 30% in a day can get raided if you're not paying attention to your phone? Like that's.
Yeah, that's why you have to have the auto refiner. You're just cooked probably, unless you have people that just fend off raiders nonstop for you. They're like, "I'll do your work, my good sir."
Yeah. For a lily, good sir. Send me a lily.
I need my likes. If I don't hit 10,000 by the end of the week, I'm changing alliances.
That's right. I need
someone
those
else
likes
to appreciate my efforts.
I think I still have 150 lilies in my bag. I haven't used any of them.
I had like there's like an admin on the Discord, right? And he one of them, he basically comes and he sends me a lily in game. I had a bunch of lilies. Then I sent him one back. It was during like our last island raid. Then he sends me one back. And we went back and forth for like 5 minutes until I ran out and he won. So I was like, fuck you, bro. Like it became a challenge out of nowhere. I don't even know why that started, bro. It was like I think it became competitive after like the third one. I'm like, I'm not giving up, bro.
Well, exactly. Not at that point. It's now a fight for everything turns into a war in this game, even lilies, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, literally, bro. Like, who can give you more likes?
That's funny.
And you beat me.
So what's your best set? Like, I mean, you're kind of an everything player, aren't you? You play a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
So what's your best equipment set?
Like my.
Yeah, what's your best equipment set?
You mean on the refinery? I think it's like only around $1 million. I haven't really spent on my
You haven't spent on any equipment and stuff?
Yet.
Nice.
Hell no, I'm good off that. They got me overloaded over here, man.
Yeah. I'm just
trying to get at least like 2 stats on my stuff, like
exactly
2 stat stuff. Like
if I can get 2 stats,
whatever.
Yeah, if I can get 2 stats and one of them is damage or damage reduction, fuck ace. Good. I'm good. I'll be happy with that. And in fact, as long as it's not the farming ones, I really don't even care about the main stats because the main stats aren't nearly as valuable as the other ones as the special attributes anyways. Right?
That is true.
I think, well, I have, because on my one account, I have one of the shotguns leveled up to plus 20, and it's only a plus 3% attack, plus 3% HP. Whereas you can get plus 7%, right, attack in the other honed, in the specialized attributes.
Yeah, I mean, it's still useful, right? But
sure.
It's not nearly as useful overall.
And to know that you have to dismantle as many as you have to be able to level them up.
And you know what I'm thinking? I'm gonna go on these fillers because you get the auction house, like it kind of was expected, but the price of stuff has dropped so much really quickly. I'm thinking I'm gonna just take everything, dismantle all the useless stuff on those since I'm not selling most of the stuff anyways, and then I'm gonna try to upgrade like a okay piece of gear and then sell it for a decent price. So then someone else can just take all my maybe they'll take the upgraded stuff and then they'll take all the, you know what I'm talking about, right? They'll take the material and then use it on a different piece because you can basically get it back or whatever.
Well, the moment I get
maybe that'll work.
Yeah, exactly. The moment I get any 3 stack, I'm selling that 2 piece that I've been working on as is.
I just want to try to get some of these auto gathers on fillers. That'd be pretty nice. I've used the auction house a bit.
Right?
But getting those good stats is hard. Even with like 100 freaking accounts, you're not gonna pull that 3 stack.
No, it's true. I mean, it's super. Like I don't believe the draw rates by any stretch.
I've never believed draw rates in this game.
Never believed the
I mean,
percentages.
you've seen the roulettes, bro.
Yeah.
You've seen the roulettes, man.
That's true. It's true. I had to spin 38 times on this most recent one just to get 10 fragments once.
I mean, or you mean the 15 fragments on the squad skin? Is that what you're talking about?
No. For the lucky roulette.
Oh,
Yeah, 38 spins.
that's
to get it 10 times once.
that would be better than one of my players. I think they spent like I don't think they got a single 10 times, and they used like 50k gems.
Oh,
Yeah, and they had just unlocked Janet, and they're like, oh, I'm done.
yeah. 50,
I know because I was calling him because I've been taking care of his account because he's not like active, and he comes in because he's trying to work on riders, right?
Yeah.
And he just comes and spends a bunch of gems on the roulette, and he's like, "Man, f this game. I'm going back on break."
Fuck
He didn't
this
actually say
game, I'm
that,
out.
but I know he felt that. I know he felt that, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
When you see that roulette luck, you go back to the casino. You're like, maybe I'll have better luck there.
Yeah, that's when I'm buying a lottery ticket because it's obviously not working in roulette. Jesus, 50K just to
it's not
unlock
working on Doomsday.
Jam.
Maybe you can break the system somewhere else since they took all your luck here.
Well, it's true. And I mean, when we talk about things like the new heroes that are coming out, I mean, it's kind of interesting. We've seen Cedric, we've seen Spectra, both of which have been making waves within the range community. Now we've got Rick and Janet. Janet of who is overperforming according to what she's supposed to be doing. So I mean, it's really kind of interesting to see, what IGG does in regards to balance. It's like instead of balancing, they're just like, let's just release something new that's even stronger, and that's kind of our balance method.
Yeah, Janet, it's like hiring somebody. You expect it to show up late to work, and she's just working overtime.
Well, I find it kind of ironic because I was talking to a bunch of people, and a bunch of people who had like looked through her skills and said that she'd be like subpar and stuff, and I'm sitting there going, I don't think so.
Yeah, mediocre.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think she's going to be far more impactful than people give her credit for. And, when I watched, because Z did a video on it just recently, breaking it down, going through reports, talking about how she's overperforming. Whether it's a bug or not, we don't know yet.
It probably is a bug.
I would expect it to be.
Let us sit there.
Because it's written directly into things that it's not supposed to trigger more than 5 times. But it triggers like 8 or 9 times in certain situations. Because obviously Rubina procs 2 to 6 extra times on her skill in 1 second, right? So it's almost like they have it coded wrong. But even if that's not the case, even if you take out the 3 extra hits that she's getting off of the once or twice that you'll get lucky with Rubina, right? Her damage is ridiculous. It's still really crazy by comparison. Like you'll see her on the field just melting squads. And I went, well, this is their balance technique. Just here's a new top hero. Though I am intrigued, and you can give me an opinion on this, I am intrigued with Rick having the attack skill tree. What do you think about that?
That's just not my thing. Maybe I'm just a hater though. Like I might just be chronically hating, It's been something that I never enjoy my heroes. It like pisses me off,
Never have time to enjoy
just
my
give me
heroes.
the skill tree already, bro. Just now you can sit behind Chasey or Felix for me, bro. That's all I can say.
Well, this is and this is like I was talking to, this was kind of a conversation on the Discord about whether the skill tree is actually better. And yes, it provides more rage skill, right? But there was a good point made that said it depends on the hero, right? Because some of these heroes put out a ton of skill damage right away, right? Ethan, for example, puts out a bunch of damage right away over a short period of time. His was it 15,000, something like that, 15,500, 14,500, something like that is what his damage is. And that's every time. So you want to pump out that damage as much as possible. But if you look at Janet or you look at Felix or you look at Chasey or Rick, I mean, their damage is more bleed damage consistently. So they don't necessarily need to put out their skills every 6 or, every 5 seconds because their damage is already proccing 4 or 5 seconds at a time. Do you see what I'm saying? And so by
Yeah.
by increasing, so by having him with the attacks tree, because he benefits more from like basic attack damage buffs, attack buffs, defense buffs, and things like that. Like that's where I'm leaning at as well. Don't get me wrong, half of me goes, but he doesn't have the skill tree, so he's not going to be played.
Yeah.
But the other half of me goes, maybe this is IGG's attempt now to balance the meta from this
Divert it.
all skills all the time meta that we've been in for the last 2 years. I mean,
You mean ever since the game came out?
no. Let's be honest
For the
though.
most part.
Let's be
I
honest
mean,
though.
yeah. I mean,
Peter was top of the game when they first came out. Peter was a big deal, and he's the attack
he
tree.
did have AoE though. Peter did have AoE though.
Sure, but it was still an attack tree hero when he came out. He just got outpaced with everything else, right? There's other examples,
Yeah,
right?
I mean,
You still have what's the other guy? Not Jeremy. What the hell's his name? The fucking
Lee.
No. John Kerry. Johnny also has the attack tree. And wasn't he a big deal when Thunder was like he was the response to Thunder?
Hell no. I even said he was terrible for Thunder. I mean, yes and no, right? Because people would try to use him, but the issue is, and I said this the second he came out, Carry's damage sucks so much that using him basically didn't matter unless you were like swarming the tower and needed to debuff the Thunder healing that much, right? Because realistically, you're just lowering how much he's healing, but if the tower's still full 24/7, well, what are you actually doing, right? If people are still able to upkeep the fillers, then you're just putting out less damage to make him heal less, which is supposed to make it less useful, but then people just fill the tower the same amount. And it's like you could just use Julia and pump out more damage. And yeah, there's healing, but if the tower's still going to stay full, then drain it. You know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
I don't know. I didn't like Carry. I always hated him when I saw him being used.
I agree. I've never been a supporter of Carry, but he's also their response, right? Like he came after Thunder as their response to what Thunder was doing. And it was with the attack tree. Now, granted, maybe it wasn't the right decision, but this becomes my question. Is Rick the response, moving forward? Is this how they're going to try to bring balance into needing that attack tree more often by having a hero that really benefits from that attack tree buff?
I mean, there's a chance they're trying to change meta. And then there's also the chance that we might just be looking too deep in how much IGG is thinking about it. And they might just be like,
this guy looks cool. Which is totally possible too, but we have to assume that there's some method to the madness. I mean, they still follow the heroes do respond to the heroes that are being released, right? Rubina was a response to Ethan. Boyd is a response to Rubina. So it would make sense that this is kind of the next step. I guess the question then becomes, are they really choosing to try to change the meta, or is he just a road bump? Like, is he relegated to secondary string?
Yeah, the thing is though, do you like when you think about this new Rider hero, it's like, do you need a shift in meta though, right? Like I could see the secondary being more of a thing, right? Because it's like, yes, Cedric, for example, I think you kind of mentioned it earlier, but Cedric coming out wasn't as much of a meta shift as Ethan coming out, right? Like he didn't have as much of an impact on the game as Ethan's drop. So it's like they don't need to make as much of a meta shift as maybe when Ethan came out, right? Like Cedric is kind of like in his own regard, a road bump, right? Like, so I don't think it actually needs to shift meta really. So I think they might just be releasing a new hero to have kind of something, maybe change up a little bit, but not kind of change the whole playing field. I could be wrong. Maybe he's going to be like crazy and stuff. Because the thing is, though, it's like, are you really going to see him being used in Garrison, for example, though, right? Like the new guy, right? Rick, right? Like you're probably going to see still Chasey and Ethan because people prefer the AoE because of all the counter damage and stuff. And like the lack of counter damage on a Rider hero is really bad for swarms and all that. Like maybe you'll be better off against like 1v1 rallies or something, perhaps, or something. But like, you know, if you get like multi rallies, you get swarmed. I don't know how effective Rick's gonna be.
Well, they have damage reduction, flat damage reduction, skill damage reduction. I believe Rick even has, like, doesn't Rick do AoE damage as well on his skills? It's not just one target. I'm pretty sure isn't one of his.
I had to check.
I thought it was his his third.
Attacks. I don't think so.
When not in a rally, basic attacks. Yeah, his transcendent skill. When not in a rally, basic attacks have a 20% chance to deal damage at once up to 3 nearby enemies.
Up to 3 enemies.
And then once he's transcended, it's 1,200. It's 1,200 guaranteed up to 3 enemies. When not in a rally.
The only issue though is like how small his skill damage is. You know, like I get what you're saying. It can be useful, especially because you consider like the skill damage reduction, whatever, right?
Well, it's that it's
damage reduction.
It's the 1,200, but remember the 1,200 is also affected by basic attack damage buffs. So that 1,200, if you're using Chasey, who gets an extra 330%, well, 330% times 1,200 is 3,600, right? So all of a sudden, we're talking about a much bigger punch in the face. So I
guess we'll have to see.
Yeah,
honestly,
but that becomes my question. So I'm hoping this is a response because unfortunately, Ethan to me is still too fucking strong. He's too strong. He's too good.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna see him with Boyd no matter what here.
Yeah, Boyd, Ethan, Chasey, Ethan,
and still always a viable rider Garrison option if you need it.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, it's
crazy how he came out and he's just like he's used with every single Garrison option. Like,
yeah.
It's insane, bro.
And what pisses me off the most about it is that I looked at it originally and I was like, wow, he'll be okay. And then I started looking at his stats. And once I started to see, like, was it 49% attack or 55% attack, 48% HP? So, like, ridiculously high base stat numbers. I went, oh, wait a second. This is a much bigger deal than what we thought. Like, this is a much bigger deal, especially for ranged, than what we thought. And then I didn't even realize that once he's transcended, he provides squad defense, not range squad defense. So it's like, okay, now it makes sense why he would be in every garrison because he provides a flat defense to everybody.
I'll say this, bro. I literally have never liked swarming or even just multi-rallying like a rider garrison with range because obviously you're countered. Like if you're going to have like multiple rallies, it's better rider on rider. Mm-hmm. And this is like another reason that and I've said this before, but like another reason that riders are just so much better in like terms of like if you're going to choose something to start out now, it'd probably be rider, right? Like swarming a rider garrison with riders is better. Swarming a range garrison with riders is better. But a range main is going to have a more annoying time swarming a rider garrison because one, you're countered. So every time I like swarm a rider garrison, right? Because I'm going to swarm because we need swarmers sometimes here, right? My range is always trading the worst against the rider garrison. Same with our whales who are range mains. I mean, all they can really trade the best on is like a Boyd, which is kind of like all counter attack anyways, right? You're kind of getting slammed by like the counter damage. That's like who like, and then you got the freaking Ethan support on all these heroes, so you're gonna get melted no matter what. Like the fight, bro. It's so annoying. But
it's so annoying.
It's a rider's world, bro. It's a rider's world if you're a swarmer. I'll say that much.
Yeah, or a whale. It's a whale's world, especially now with that refinery. It's cheap. I mean, I've got my infantry set up now to I think it's 1.6 million, and it's just purple hones, just a couple of purple hones on my on my outset pieces. Nothing too fancy yet, but getting an extra 9% damage is cheap. It's cheap, which is unfortunate for me because. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, and then you see people with like 14 million squad equipment after thinking you're looking good.
No.
Like, oh, I'm getting somewhere.
Listen, I appreciate the fact that I am pittance compared to some of these other guys. But at 180 million, I can still dance with 220s pretty handedly and do pretty well in the process. I've got some nice reports of my Boyd, who's just recently cracked 5 million. So I'm happy about that. He's 5-1 now. And I got some nice reports, so I'm, things are moving quickly.
I can finally go garrison against Safe Me.
Yeah, exactly. Don't get me
Big
wrong, it's
G1
not
now.
it's not G1 characteristics, but G15, G13, yeah, we swing pretty okay. It's nothing like you though. I've seen your accounts; they're scary.
No, man, I'm a small little
I'm just an insignificant
minion,
little
bro. I
minion.
mean, I
Yeah,
had to
get
go
out of
fight
here.
Farmer and I got slammed, bro. This island raid, that was not fun.
Get out of here. Did you
And
guys
like,
win or lose your island
dude, my
raid?
garrison. You said what?
And I said, did you guys win or lose your island raid?
It was insane, and I'll tell you what happened in my island raid, bro. Because there's no way we should have won, okay? But we kind of pulled off something, okay? No. Listen, because we had VWAO, right? Who has
Yep.
Farmer, which is like a maxed account. Like, if you had to compare it to an account, it's literally top tier. Like, you could say Save Me and him are the same level,
Sure.
right? So we had him. We had FGO, who has like multiple whales. They ended up allying with them, and I was told, I'm just gonna say this, I was told that when they were reached out to, that they were saying that this would be an easy win, not FGO, but the other teams, right? They
Yeah.
were saying that this would be an easy win because they were doing like a kind of a 4v2 against us. They were
Right.
allying for like an easy win. We had Ace, which had some pretty strong whales as well, and then there's Mine, which was one of the powerhouses of this bracket, along with VWAO. And then there's us, who's literally sandwiched, kind of in between three groups if they all decide to come our direction.
Sorry, my daughter. I gotta take her to dance, but
No,
she's
you're-
like not even listening. I want to eat raisins. No. Go get ready for dance. But I want raisins
Oh my
first.
gosh. But then we had SMHS. You know who
Yeah.
SMHS is? Really strong team, right? So
Yeah.
mine and them are basically same level. But then you got VWAO, who's Farmer, who's a maxed whale, right? Who's gonna freaking you drop like 3 billion points in this island raid. So I'm like, oh fuck. But basically, we had two alliances also who allied us, but these alliances only had maybe one whale max, right? So
Right.
they were much worse off. Their overall alliance build was much weaker. So it was pretty obvious that these guys were in a much more winning position. But then I think they got overconfident because what happened is Mine, who's like arguably the strongest along with SMHS, built on the side of the map as they're on the other side just to harass our two allies, maybe to get free kills, right?
Yeah.
Ace, instead of building to the left 7 where we're going to be fighting at, goes to the right 7, maybe to just free ball it, maybe to get their own 7, right?
Sure.
So they built up to the top of the map and they come around towards SMHS. But the thing is, one of our allies end up coming down and fighting them for a few hours, which end up actually pulling them off SMHS. But basically what happens is we get slammed by VWA. We just can't hold our towers. We're like, oh my god, because Farmer swarms everything. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck am I supposed to do, bro? But VWAO slams us, pushes us back to our 6. SMHS, we had already talked with them, and the plan was for them to take the 7 up there, FGO keep in the corner of the map, and come down the map.
Yeah.
They come down, they fight VWAO. We had been fighting VW as they were building down because they started trying to cut off our towers going towards FGO. So we just said, okay, let's port back in. Let's slam a tower. And since Farmer's team wasn't very active, we were able to just kind of handle them a bit. So then SMHS connects, so they go and defend them. So we take our 6 back, and we just build and cut them off. So we just cut them off from the 7, free ball it, and then SMHS gets raided by a few teams. And then FGO connects, so then they're having to deal with like 4 alliances on the field, and they're having to defend their towers. So I went to bed because I was like, oh, I think we lost, right? Like, they're just getting hammered too hard. Freaking wake up! And SMH has pushed these guys back and is still fighting on VWAO's front. So our alliance who got pushed back to our 6 again, we built back. And we cut off VWAO again, bro. 2 times in one day. Jeez. We cut them off. SMHS, who's freaking, I gotta say this, they were amazing for this. Instead of saying, we're going to take the 7 because we fought harder, right? They allowed us to take the 7 from VWAO and secure the prison coins. And we had already rated 180k while not having a 7. So, we have 180k secured. Then we got I think it's 400 something on that 7, right? So we're secured top 4, meaning a red merit chest.
Sure.
The thing is, SMHS always has a chance to get pushed back to their 6. So the fact that they were even willing to give this to us, I freaking applaud them 10 times over.
Sure.
They somehow managed to hold their 7, come over to FGO. We could have taken our 6 back because I'll tell you in a second, but they managed to bump up to rank 2. We dropped down to rank 3. We could have jumped up to rank 2, but we wanted them to take rank 2 because what happens is VWAO, who has our level 7, or sorry, level 6, because they heli-padded us again, but we're still ranked top 4 because we have all the prism coins. they basically demolish their towers to try to build towards the 8, which mine has. But they don't have enough time, so they drop from rank 4 to they don't even rank top 4 anymore, bro. They demolished all their towers to try to reach the 8, which they didn't have time for. Because they were going to give up their 7 to Ace, who didn't even have time to reach their 7. So neither of them had time. It was insane, bro. Like, I don't know how we ranked top 4, bro.
Oh man, that's so funny. Oh, that's so good. I love when that happened. My last one ended up it was a slog. It ended up being 4-on-4, and we ended up having to fight. I don't remember the names of the alliances off the top of my head because, of course, I'm a little stoned. But we ended up basically fighting one for the 7 like the entire time. We'd push them back, they'd push us back. We'd push them back, they'd push us back. The entire time up until the end when we finally pushed them back, and then their whale just gave up. And as soon as he gave up,
is that when you had Chaos merge with you? I think I saw a little bit of that.
No, that was just a good one we had with Chaos in the first place. Chaos came to join us, and we ended up pushing right back to the 8 right before the end. I think we ended up coming in 3rd or 4th at the end of that one. But this last one we just had, we ended up in 3rd. We had a bunch of people who had O-Prime come visit with us from... I don't remember which one he's in, but he's like 3 something. Anyways, he came to visit with us and play IR with us. And so we had him, and then we were going up against someone, again, I can't remember, close to the same might. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but the guy was basically like the only person. So everyone outside of that count, if they didn't have him online, they couldn't handle us. But if he was online, we were like balanced, right? So it was like they would push us back down to R6, and we would push back up to the 7. Then they would push us back, and then we would build around and try to come up sideways back up to the 7 and push them back to their 6. And so the whole time was like this back and forth between us and them. But it was basically a nice back and forth where we were basically but we ended up getting 3rd by the end of it because as soon as their whale left, everybody else left. And it was just like, whoop, and they just backed all the way off to the 6. And we were like, okay, well, now there's no fun.
Dude, you literally explained my archipelago raid. It's the worst too because we had to go into this AR after fighting freaking farmer all island.
Yeah.
So we had no resources, right?
Yeah.
We go into AR, and somehow these guys are on a side legion, right? They got this one account that's nearly maxed, so it's weaker than farmer, right? Farmer's probably like 128 AOD. This account's maybe 110, right? But they had multiple IC8 whale accounts there. So we got to deal with these freaking IC8 whale accounts on a side legion. Yeah. So we push them back and forth. It's a back and forth every day, every night. And to be fair, because most of their legion was Korean, these guys would all go to sleep around the time we were waking up. Mm-hmm. So we would just come at our checkpoint and we just push them back, and then push us back, and push them back, And honestly, this was winnable, but the thing is, their whales were just overwhelming. And our allies, I felt bad, but our allies, literally, they pushed in Jade. They had locked in Jade, the other main legion, the whole time. So we should have been in a winning position. But the issue is, Azure was pretty inactive. It was only OXO, Hit, and maybe one other team for most of the AR kind of and it was mainly OXO throughout most of the shifts, right? Taking on downtime and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I always feel bad because every time I've had OXO, I swear these guys are doing 99% of their legions heavy lifting, and I don't know. But we couldn't do but so much with holding towers. We had the freaking god tier Boyd garrisons, but without enough fillers on Azure side, it didn't matter. And what annoyed me is we had the chance because on when the 8 was gonna open on that day, before it had opened, we had pushed them back out of mid. And if Azure was active enough, we probably could have locked them back behind the level 5. Yeah. But they weren't. So they ended up having to build into the 8 in the middle instead of pushing these guys through their 7 towards their level 5. So then these guys ended up waking up, and they ended up pushing us back because we couldn't defend. Our activity was also dropping. And then Azure just wasn't able to hold because they just didn't have the activity. So we got pushed back. And the thing is, Crimson focused on pushing us back so much that all Azure had to do was build 2 to 3 towers, and they would connect it to the 8, right? There was a whole strategy that I had kind of devised where we would demolish all our towers on the top side and we would just build through the bottom side because there was nothing there and we could just make it into A and connect. That or what we ended up doing is we ended up fighting on the top side, which I don't know if we should have done, but we reconnected to our towers, which kind of connected us to the level 6 checkpoint. And we ended up fighting there and pushing these guys for quite a while until we just knew we didn't have enough time to reach the 8. But the thing is, Azure just couldn't break through Jade because it was only like 1 or 2 alliances fighting, bro. And they were 3 towers from the 8, bro. All they needed to do was take the little checkpoint on that side, connect to their towers, connect to the 8, and Crimson couldn't defend on both of us. But
Jesus. You know, this game, and as much as I rail on this
so
game,
disappointing.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I've been railing on this game for the matchmaking for a while, but the last 2 events, and I know it's a small sample size, but the last 2 events, we've had great matchmaking. So I'm hoping it continues to give us more of these fights, because I'll tell you, my last 2 Pompeiis literally came down to the last 30 seconds of the event. Like, we lost by like 110 points, and the other one we won by like 200 points. So, like, we've been having really, like, the last 4 events have been super, super good. So I'm hoping matchmaking is doing something. I'm hoping for it, but who knows? Who knows?
Our Pompeiis are weird. Like, we had it's usually pretty one-sided, right? Like, we had fought NWO in our last one.
Yeah.
And I think they were actually higher rating than us, but they only had like 10 people show up out of the 30 plus they registered, which makes sense why they had like I think it was like a 12 loss streak. Because look, I just need a picture, but this is like our dude, we just steamroll everybody. I'm gonna be honest. Like, unless we meet like a HMB or something, which is like how we always lose our streak.
Yeah.
Yeah, we lose it if we meet 59E or we meet HMB. That's our kryptonite every single time, because that's how we I think we met Ryle. It was like half a year ago at least, but we were about to get like a Pompey star. We needed like 3 more wins, and then we met freaking Ryle and Dan Russ and all them just ran our pockets, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? Good night, bro. I can't do this anymore. But now we got our Pompey star, so I'm not even mad, bro.
Good.
You can't take that away from me.
Good.
I don't need any more.
Yeah, we've got a couple of players that come back, so we're starting to get some more balance. But it's nice to see the amount of depth we have. One thing that I've noticed, of course, because we had Chad, and when he left, I realized how much we had put, like how much responsibility we kind of put on the guy. So my goal has been to kind of branch out a little bit and kind of find a little bit more depth throughout things. So we don't really have any 1 or 2 big hitters. We've got like 5 or 6 medium hitters that are, that we can kind of play around as we need to. But seems to be working so far. We'll see how it plays out. So,
I mean, to be fair, most teams crunch on like a main player, or like ideally you have a main group of players, which is kind of what we have, right? Like we still crunch our main players, but if we need like a backup rally or backup garrison, it's very doable, right? Like we have Dr. Death, who's got like 7.2 range, one of our main range, and then we have Big D, who's literally another range, right? So we got multiple range captains who can. So what they sometimes do is they'll swap out their rallies and garrisons, or they'll swap out garrisons if one wants to rally and one wants to garrison, or if one wants to swarm rallies more, which actually makes it a lot easier on the other whale. So if like I remember Dr. Death, I think he likes letting Big D swarm more, so he'll be like, hey, let me take garrison and you just swarm the rally out. So, I mean, it's very useful, and then I'm obviously able to send rallies if I need. And then I told you about it, but we have Mo's coming in soon, which is, a really big
exciting.
Well.
Yeah,
so that's going to help. Yeah, dude. And the thing is, we're very strong. Like, we got really good field and stuff, but the second we meet, like, a max whale, we're kind of stone locked, because as long as the team behind them has, like a good enough field presence to stop us from just swarming out the swarmer or doing whatever and just being enough support in the field, this max whale is going to be just too much for us. So being able to have a maxed possible garrison and stuff, meaning that we just don't have to worry about these swarms as much, is very nice. And just being able to have our own max player, so then we can actually like properly compete at the very top of the league if we want to, or whatever the case.
Yeah, exactly.
That's like one of our main issues with competing at the top of the league. It's like we got really strong whales, but the second we meet like an R or Z level, we're just stonewalled. Like we got nothing.
Yeah, I feel you, which is probably the part that pisses me off the most, because I'm trying to work on our alliance rating and stuff, like battle rating management, which I'm finding is a lot more frustrating than what than what people want to admit it is. Because like we register at 6.5 billion, but we've got a 12 billion rating. So I went, what? So I've been doing some digging into that, and so I'll have some content coming out about battle rating management and stuff like that. But it's one of those things where I look at it going, it's just like you have to micromanage all that stuff, because otherwise it runs out of control real quick. Like we can't fight at the top of Elite. We need to be at the bottom of Elite, but you can't get there and be in Elite because of how the matchmaking and rating, like my rating. You know what I mean? Like we shouldn't be at the top of Elite, but we're in at the top of Elite because our battle rating is there. But I don't think that our battle rating should be as high as it is. So I have to now dump through. Like even my battle rating is inflated. I've got a 184 million, but my battle rating is like 320.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I'm sorry. What was that? No, you were saying something.
I was just gonna say, like, I'm just done with it. I'm like, you know what? We get. I don't throw a fit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't be bothered, bro. I just pray.
You just play your game now, hey? Yeah, I get that.
Literally.
Okay.
If I suffer. If I won't,
yeah, exactly. So listen, I got to wrap it up here. This has been running a little bit longer than what I had anticipated. I got to get it a dance. But either way, I'm looking at this. I want to say thanks a lot for tuning in. Thanks a lot for joining me again. I'm hoping we can start doing these a little bit more often. I'm thinking we'll start to do a little more of the shorter ones. So we'll do one or two quick topics to kind of put out, shorter ones. So we're not sitting here for, 2 hours at a time on some of our last ones like we've had before. But it's been fun. A lot of the community looks up to us, looks up to you for a lot of our opinions. So it's good for us to, maintain that consistency. So I want to say thanks a lot for joining me again. Do you have anything else you want to toss in here before we wrap up?
Nothing much. I mean, I know you got to go take your daughter to her practice or whatever it was.
Yeah, dance.
Right? Holding the cat in the background. I saw that.
Yeah. You see the threat.
Yeah, take us now or I throw the cat at you.
So,
anyways, gosh, yeah, the cat's gonna climb you again like a mountain.
Like a fucking mountain. Anyways, thanks very much for tuning in, folks. I thought I had an absolute fun time getting to know this, going through Worlds, going through the refinery, getting to know your opinions on things. Thanks very much for doing that for us. If you haven't already, smash the like button, comment down below, fill out the notification bell, and subscribe to the channel. Follow both me, follow both Panda. Get those likes up, get those subscriptions up, folks. As we've said, IGG doesn't care at all, and YouTube doesn't pay very much. So help out with those likes and all the free stuff that you can. Other than that, love, peace, chicken grease, and until next time.
Hey, lifted.